Hi, and welcome back. In this tutorial, I'm going to talk about the SQL comments. Uh, the comments are very useful to allow you to explain a section or a component of the SQL statement. And the good thing is that component that you select as a comment will now be executed upon the execution of your script. So what I mean by that is, I'm going to start with two types of comments. One of them is the single line comment. So what single line comment is it's uh, uh, it's any text between the two hyphens or at the end of the line will be ignored. So for example, if we're going to have a select all statement, right? Select all from let's say well indicators. Okay, now, if we were to, let's say, if we were to put double hyphen here for a single line comment, so what it will do is it will know, SQL will specify this as a comment and will not execute it while you run uh, the the statement. So let's say run it. There you go. It gives us an error saying, what do you want me to extract from the word indicator? So what do you want me to do? So, but as soon as let's say we get rid of the comment, the single line comment, we're going to see that all right. So this relation for what indicator does not exist as a what indicator. There you go. So now we see all of the data. But again, if we were to add a single line comment, it's going to give us an error because it uh, it disregards or does not execute that specific line where we have a comment form. So another example could be, let's say we're going to uh, select, we're going to write a select statement based on the condition. Let's say we say, give me everything from the worth indicator, and then we're going to add a conditional clause. And this time we're going to say, give me anything where the region is equal to uh, Asia. So let's run this without the comment. And there you go. We have three countries that belongs to Asia. Now, if we were to, let's say, if we were to just disregard everything, let's say from on this specific line of statement, then we're going to add the single line comment of the two hyphens here, and that will do. And what it will do is it's going to give you all of the data, all of the values of columns, because without executing the condition here, because this condition is now just a comment and will not be executed. So the only two uh, statements that are executed in this query are these two, which is select everything from the world indicator table for me. So again, it doesn't matter where you put it. As soon as you see that, depending on what platform you use to perform a query, but in PG admin, this is the color. So if you see the color changing to this, then that line of comment or that line of script is actually nothing but a comment and will not be executed uh, when you execute it when you run the query. So this is what we call a single line comment. Uh, and again, it's you can type as much as you want. That line where that the double hyphens are typed, that line all the way till the end of that line will be considered a comment. As soon as you press enter, you start a new line. As you can see, it's no more a comment. It's actually a syntax that will be executed. So this was example of what we call a single line comment, which you just saw. And so now let's do a what we call a multi-line or multiple line comment. So the multiple line comment is a little bit uh, complex than simply using the double hyphen for a single line comment. It actually starts with slash and star and ends with uh, star slash. So pretty much anything in between these two indicators will be pretty much ignored and it will not be executed while you run your query. So let's just give an example of that. Let's say we're going to say, give me everything. Give me, let's say, country name, right? Let's say we can ask it to give me country name, region, and GDP from world indicator. So let's say if we decided to, if we decided to do multiple line comment here, and let's say if we do also add a where clause and say where the region equals to the Caribbean. So let's say we run it without the comment. We're going to see, oops, I made a mistake. Country name. Oh, I'm going to disable the region. So the spelling is very important. Remember, otherwise you're going to get error. And it's always a good practice to actually review the error prompt to understand what the error really entails. So let's run it again now. There you go. We got three of the columns from one indicator with region equals the Caribbean. All right, so now let's let's add a multiple line comment here, right? And let's say we're going to add start it from here. Let's say, as you see, as soon as I put it, the entire chunk of uh, the syntax, right, changes color to a common color. So regardless, if even if I type pages uh, statements, everything will be just uh, determined, or will be just recognized as common because this actually opens. This actually tells uh, uh, the the uh, the environment that anything that comes after this should just be a comment, or see them as comment and don't execute until you actually close it. So it has a start and it has to have a closing. Otherwise, it will just continue to recognize whatever you write as just a comment. That's why it's multiple line comment. So let's now close it with this. And so as you can see, anything else that you write after here, there you go. So if you say where region equals to Caribbean and let's say GDP is greater than 60. So as you can see, anything that comes after the ending indicator, just these two, is actually valid executable syntax. But before anything that precedes it is actually recognized as common because we use the opener to say everything that comes after this should be just regarded as common. It should not be executed. So let's say we can actually apply this inside. Let's say here we can apply it here uh, and see how that will work for us. And there you go. As soon as I put it here, it actually recognized or actually established or specified these two column names as just comment. And now it's going, when we run it, it's only going to give us a GDP. Let's see. There you go. So as you saw, as soon as we specify using multiple line comment indicators here, specify these two columns as comments, and we run the query. It only gives GDP and it disregarded these two. And we can actually add us more information here. So since there's just nothing but comments and say, let's say only use this field if instructed to provide country name, right? Or, let's say add additional information here. Region not complete, therefore do not use it. And let's say, again, this, everything that you type within these within within these two multiple line statements, this and here will just be common and they will not be executed. So you can add anything you want. You can add numbers. You can say, text, anything you want. And it's a good practice because sometimes you will have, especially when you have more like advanced queries, you will see a lot of nodes embedded within the query. So those nodes can actually help you to to actually be able to develop or to edit your queries as you move along. So let's say someday this is, for example, this is resolved. So you can pretty much just say, okay, now region is resolved. Let's say now we can add it. So what you're going to do is you're going to get this, the ending, and bring it here, right? And bring it here, and there you go. So now the region is taken care of. Or you can actually have a comment for the region and say keep the region, but then just add a comment just for the region. And let's say uh, here, say let's say you can say use it, but then you can say but on such and such date uh, we uh, completed the region variable and decided to use it for query for, for querying the data. There you go. Oh, apparently I made a mistake. I did not put the star here, so you saw the GDP was hanging. So now when you run it, you'll see that you're going to get the region and the GDP. And the good thing is you still have some common between, region GDP, where you specify what's the development or what's the background for the region. So let's run it. Let's see what. There you go. Oh, we still don't have the region because it makes sense because we don't have the comma. So let's run it. And there you go. So now we have the region and the GDP from the world indicators table, from where these uh, uh, arguments or uh, conditional clauses also apply. So these were the two types of comments that are very important to know for SQL. Each language, programming language, have their own way of adding comments to your code and script. So they're very important to know, especially the context of your codes. Uh, so I wanted to make sure that this video covers this important topic. I hope it was helpful. Thank you for your time. Until next time.